Hello, and welcome to another episode of the We Don't Wanna podcast. This is the show where two certified dipshits make uncertified takes on your favorite series. We're your hosts. I am Scott, and joining me, as always, titles, you know the damn words. It's Zachary Attackery!
Yo.
How are you doing today, pal?
I'm good. This is my different persona.
Yes, obviously, as you can very easily tell, we are recording this on a completely different night than last week's episode because I'm wearing a hat and Zach is wearing sunglasses, so... And his hat's sideways.
My hat's different.
So, there's no way possibly that these could be on the same night. How dare you think we would do that? How dare you?
It was not a ruse.
It's definitely some sort of ruse. We are back talking Game of Thrones episode 7. You win or you die.
Pretty sure 50 Cent said that.
Pretty sure 50 Cent definitely said that. 50 Cent direct quote. This is a doozy of an episode, Zach. I kind of have a feeling this one might take us a while. You better strap in, strap on, whichever.
Strap me on, daddy.
You are inclined to do, because boy, does a lot happen, and boy, do I have some things to say about this episode as well.
Okay, all right, I'll get serious.
Get serious with me, baby. Strap me on, daddy, and get serious with me, baby. Oh boy, yeah. Went into that beautiful sunlight.
Went into your asshole.
It's squinting back at you, don't worry.
You gonna make your asshole wink back at me?
God damn it. Yeah, no, for sure.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm good. You know,
how are you Are you doing any different than...
It's so fucking hot in this office, I can tell you that right now. Not having a good time with, being in here for like the second
Straight
hour.
up not having a good time. You're not having a good time doing the podcast, pal?
No, I am having a good time. It's just my eat glands, that's a thing, are not having a good time. Yeah. No, look it up. Check the science.
You want me to go take care of your glands?
Yeah, no, got that. How are you doing? As opposed to
good.
When I asked you not an hour ago.
A lot's changed over the past week.
You're so convincing.
Got a different yellow shirt?
Different one. It's definitely not just turned inside. I can see the seams.
Can you really?
We are such idiots.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you need to
Dude,
proclaim
there's
to
so
the
much
world?
to talk about with this episode. Let's just do the goddamn thing.
We need to do it.
Give the people what they want.
I am going to jump in here. Normally, we like to give people the quick, the quick and dirty, or the fast and the hard, or all of the above.
Can I take 2 of each, please?
2 of each. You're going to take 4 of each, please, because this is probably our longest recap yet, because spoiler alert, there's a lot that happens in this episode.
This recap definitely took some blue chew.
It goes hard and it goes big. We begin. Okay, serious.
The stamina on this.
Serious time.
Oh, serious time.
Because we begin with our long-awaited introduction to Tywin goddamned Lannister.
The fucking legend.
Who is simultaneously skinning a stag, schooling Jaime, and just generally being a total boss. Generally. He tells Jaime that family and legacy are what is truly important, and he's giving Jaime half the Lannister army to attack River Run. They are big mad at Catelyn. At King's Landing, Ned and Cersei have a chat in the gardens about how Ned knows that her children are bastards. He tells her to take her children and run because Bobby B will try to kill them. Cersei tells him he should have taken the crown for himself, that when you play the Game of Thrones, You win or you die. That is the name of the show and the episode title in one sentence. It's a bargain. It's a new high.
It's almost like it's important.
Almost like it is. Next, speaking of important, we get a totally necessary scene where Littlefinger teaches a few of his ladies how to bang. And he tells
how
us
to finger bang.
How to finger bang. And he also tells us the story, which we already know and have heard, about how he loves Cat.
Dude, don't get me on this.
And how he just wants to screw people over and get everything there is. And also, he pretty much calls Cat ugly at some point, which just seemed uncalled for.
Yeah.
At Winterfell, very important scene, by the way. That last one, not this one. This doesn't matter. Winterfell, Theon decides that he needs to be a dick and assert his authority over the captured wildling Osha. But he sucks at that, like everything else. Maester Luwin comes in and tells Osha and Osha tells him that the White Walkers weren't gone, were only sleeping, and that they are awake now. At the wall, Jon's uncle Benjen, his horse comes back riderless. This does not bode well. The new recruits are ready to be sworn in as full brothers of the Night's Watch and assigned their order. Sam and Jon are sent to the stewards, much to Jon's dismay, as he wanted to be a ranger so he could find his uncle. Jon is assigned to be Lord Commander Mormont's personal steward, and he is furious. Until Sam reasons with him and convinces him that he is being groomed for command. Back at King's Landing, we find out that Bobby B got tore up real bad by a boar while they were out hunting, and he won't live long. Robert wants to talk to Ned alone and has him write his last decree that Ned will serve as Lord Regent and rule till Joffrey comes of age. Ned, very sneaky Ned here, writes rightful heir, the super sleuth himself, rightful heir in place of Joffrey. Bobby B also regrets sending assassins after Daenerys and tells Ned to stop it if he can. Robert asks to give him medicine for the pain and to let him die. Barristan tells Ned that Bobby B was reeling from too much wine and blames himself for not protecting him. Varys makes a point of the fact that Lancel, the king's squire, was giving him plenty of wine, and tells Ned that it's too late to call back the orders to kill Daenerys.
Speaking of Daenerys, she's trying to talk to Khal Drogo about going across the Narrow Sea and taking back her seat, or her kingdom, as she says. Drogo's having none of it because he's cool and smart. In the market, Jorah finds out that he has been pardoned and can go home. Then saves Daenerys from a wine merchant / assassin guy that tries to poison her. Back at King's Landing, Renly tries to talk to Ned about Cersei and her children and taking her into custody right away before she's had time to prepare. Ned asks about Stannis, and Renly basically says, yeah, nobody likes that guy. Everybody likes me, so I should totally be king. It's totally legit.
Totally legit.
Ned refuses, saying he won't dishonor Robert's last hours alive. What a guy.
What a guy.
Ned sends a letter to Stannis and then tells Littlefinger that the queen has more men than him and that he needs the city guards on his side. Littlefinger says that they will listen to him because he's master of coin and he's the one who pays them. Back at the wall, Jon and Sam, I might be having a stroke.
Who's that? Stronk. James names.
Jon and Sam say their vows in front of a weirwood tree and are now full brothers of the Night's Watch, and full hard as well. Jon's direwolf ghost finds himself a lovely human hand.
Just lovely.
Across the Narrow Sea, Jorah tells Dany that King Bobby B's assassins will never stop hunting her and her son. Drogo comes in and gets riled up.
Little
That
both.
someone... I got real hard, sorry.
Oh, sorry, that was me.
Someone tried to kill his boothang and screams out his pledge to cross the narrow sea and take the 7 kingdoms.
He doing a lot of screaming.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And I am so into it.
And I'm also doing a lot of screaming. Back once more to King's Landing, where Ned is having a nice walk when a messenger tells him that the legend, Bobby B, has died. Pour one out for our guy.
Bobby B.
Quote, King Joffrey commands his presence in the throne room. Ned enters the throne room with Littlefinger, Varys, and the commander of the City Watch, who say they are behind him. Renly and Sir Loras have fled the city. Ned presents the paper with King Robert's final decree, which Cersei promptly tears up and throws it away. As if nothing.
She don't care.
Yeah,
Whatever,
even
dude.
Barristan's like, okay. Cersei tells Ned to bend the knee, and Ned's like, I can't. I got stabbed in the knee.
True. It's true.
Ned tells his men to take her and Joffrey into custody. Just as the fight is about to break out, the City Watch turns on Ned's guards and slaughters them all. Littlefinger holds a dagger to Ned's throat, saying that he did tell him not to trust him.
It was a ruse.
It was a ruse.
Oh boy, that was a lot.
That's a big episode.
That's such. How did they jam so much into this episode? We were north, we were south, we were east, we were west. They were in the west.
A little experience jamming a lot into a little place.
You okay?
What?
What an episode.
I'm talking about gummy bears in my mouth, dude.
Yes, no, obviously everyone knew that. It's a hell of an episode. There's so much that we will probably miss because there's just too much to talk about.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that we need to talk about because we discussed briefly last week how it's kind of, a bit of a not the best episode in season 1. It's fine. It's got its moments, but boy, do things kick off here in a big way. And I feel like I can't go any further without saying, Zach, I have a nomination for best scene to go into the queue for best scene in the series. And
is this Tywin's intro?
It is our first scene of the episode where we get our introduction. Tywin goddamn
Dude.
Lannister,
Yeah, I would second that.
played by Charles Dance.
Incredible casting.
The freaking legend. We lose one legend this episode only to be granted another. It is truly just, I don't know the word I'm looking for. It's meant to be, maybe that's what I'm trying to say. This scene is so good. I have to ask you though, because this has bothered me for a long time, but I don't know if I've ever asked you this.
Okay.
Is he really legitimately skinning that deer?
Yes.
It sure looks like he is.
Yeah, no, he's skinning an actual deer.
So badass.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, I don't know how they could fake this. This just looks like he's legitimately skinning this deer and also acting out of his mind and just being so goddamn cool. Jaime has been one of the biggest, he swings a big dick in this show for sure. In every scene he's in, he is the one that is making the quips, putting people down. I'm the coolest guy around. And yet in this instance, he is getting absolutely his ass handed to him by Charles Dance and his father. And this scene is so good.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
so
dude.
good.
It lives up to the expectations that we've had set throughout the whole season so far. We've just heard whispers of man, this guy,
yeah.
I'm half a kingdom in debt to Tywin Lannister. people are scared to do things because of Tywin Lannister, and we just see this constant theme around his name that is like, this guy's not to be fucked with.
Yeah.
And Catelyn and by proxy Ned have fucked with him.
Just poor decisions.
And it's not, knowing the size of this man's
Willie.
well, I was gonna say brain.
Oh, sure. That too.
It's not a good look for our people in the north, man.
No,
It's not a good
like
look. This guy getting involved.
You see this dude who again is just like, Jaime has been such a baller to this point, but he's just like an ant next to a giant. Don't get me wrong, Nikolai Coster-Waldau is fantastic in this scene. That's not what I'm saying. Like,
Sure, right.
His acting is fantastic. I'm talking about the character hierarchy here. It's like Tywin is in charge. One of my favorite parts is when I can't even remember Tywin says something to him, like insults him in some way, and he just goes like, while he's continuing to skin this stag, is symbolism, am I right? He goes,
symbology, bro.
Symbology. He goes, "You gonna say something clever? Go on, say something clever." And it's just like, dude, he's already dead. Stop kicking the poor man. He's so cool, but I have to call out, like I said, Nikolai Coster-Waldau too, because the way he delivers when Tywin is talking to him about, like, no, you want people to think that you don't care what they think, but you do. Doesn't it bother you when they whisper Kingslayer behind your back? And Jaime's delivery of the line, of course it bothers me. I love the way, like,
especially,
just that honesty.
Especially on a rewatch, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it holds a lot of weight regardless.
Yes.
But, oh boy, especially on a rewatch, guys. If this is your first time watching Game of Thrones and you are following along the podcast, first off, we love you and thank you. But second, and also you're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're fucking welcome, okay?
Okay.
But second, like, this is a lot to ask if this is your first time watching, but go watch it again. Watch the whole show again.
I mean, just
good,
keep
dude.
this in line. Keep this vulnerability and this honesty from Jaime here, because this will come back up in another extremely good scene. Spoiler. But it's
You're
just
supposed
like,
to say spoiler before.
I know. Sorry. Yeah. It's just all I said was it's a good scene.
Okay.
Man, they're back and forth here. It's just like you said, like, we've been building for 6 episodes about Tywin Lannister. And there is zero part of this where it's, like, disappointing. Like, he exceeds every expectation possible.
Oh, yeah.
The casting, I have to call out again. Charles Dance was born to play this role, I feel like. And he absolutely crushes it.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of people, I think, that are more natural to a role.
Yeah.
Than there's actually it's two people in this series, and I'm talking across the board, like everything I love. Other shows too, even like 2 people in this show. Man, I may even have to add a third. The 2 that I'm thinking about originally are Charles Dance as Tywin and Mark Addy as Robert Baratheon. But Maisie Williams as Arya could be up there as well.
Yeah.
But when I think of people who are born to play a role, I'm thinking about like Gandalf. I mean, what's his name?
Ian McKellen.
Ian McKellen.
Sir Ian McKellen. Sorry, sir.
Sir, yeah, right.
I know you
right,
watched
right.
these. Sorry, sir.
Sorry, but sorry.
Sorry.
So it's it's just like that's some insane company to be in. Like
Yeah.
there's not a lot of people that are just literally built for that.
This is gonna sound like hyperbole, and maybe it is, but for me personally, I don't think there is like a specific casting for a specific character better than this one, like in any show ever. Like, he's just, when I see Charles Dance in like anything now, oh, Tywin Lannister, what's up, dude? Please,
Right.
please, I'm sorry. Whatever I did or whatever you think I might have done, I'm sorry. I just want to apologize to him because he's terrifying also. He's just so intimidating. He's so suave. He's just like, lion does not concern himself with the opinions of sheep. Just everything that comes out of this man's mouth is just like badass and just like, I own the world, which he kind of sort of, he owns a lot of Westeros, to be fair.
Yeah,
so
yeah, he does.
he backs it up in a big way.
So we should probably just talk about Tywin for the next like half an hour and then call it a day, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Were you
Okay.
not planning on doing that already?
Well, I mean, I just wanted to make sure
Okay,
we're on
yeah.
the same page.
Yes, definitely. No, we should. I could talk about Tywin all day, but there's a lot to get to in this episode, so we should probably move on. What stood out to you in this episode besides that, obviously, Zach?
Okay, well, just because there's so much good that is in this episode, I want to talk about my guy Littlefinger.
Hell yeah. Just
This fucking guy, dude. The way he just inserts, heyo, play with her ass in between a full fucking monologue is so funny and ridiculous.
We can't talk about this scene for too long because it's so unimportant and so much important happens.
Right, no,
in this
I
episode.
know.
But at the same time, we can't not address this scene because it is even more bizarre every time I watch it.
Yeah,
It's just so out of place.
It's
again,
like, okay, so
his delivery fascinates me. I am fascinated by the way.
I hate him. I hate him. Just okay, like
I
the
would
whole teaching them, that's one thing because like that is his business.
It is his business.
Like that is literally his business. So okay, fine, maybe, but also he teaches them, says, "All right, go on, get to it." Also, I'm gonna tell you my life story.
So bizarre.
Unprompted, this dude just goes into it, and in the middle of his shit, he's literally like, "Yeah, I love this woman. Play with her ass." And then I fucking challenged her brother, like, or her husband, or whatever.
She must be very beautiful. No, not really.
Not really, actually. She's fucking ugly as shit.
So much. No, not really. She's kind of an ugly bitch, if we're being honest.
Dude, it's so ridiculous, man.
It is absurd. If this was like the first we were hearing of this incident, I could be like, okay, they're giving us exposition in a weird way, fine. But we already know this story.
Yeah.
We've heard it earlier in the season. This is so unnecessary for us to get his life story again. The only part of it that we haven't heard is like his ambition, like at the end, where it's like, it's foreshadowing that he will do whatever it takes to get whatever he wants. I feel like we could kind of already sense that, honestly, but he basically just states straight up like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck people and I will do anything to get everything that I want, which is everything. So that's me. Hey, play with her ass.
Yeah, hey, play with her ass.
Hey, make sure to get that fingy in.
Dude. Hey, look, watch, it's gonna wink at you. Watch, look, if you do it right, it'll wink at you.
Oh,
dude,
shit.
The thing that's like another thing to add to the ridiculousness of this scene is that like the chick that Roz is doing her shit with reaches a fucking climax like as the story finishes. It's just so ridiculous.
Good.
No. No.
No, I'm dude. That's the Littlefinger line.
Oh, okay.
It's
Okay.
just so good.
Sound just like
So
him. I hate it.
weird, dude. I'm fascinated. I can't get enough of it, honestly.
Dude, I hate it so much.
Let's pivot to this. As much as I I ranted and raved about Tywin because he is a fucking baller in that first scene. My dark horse, big maybe MVP of this episode. I love Sam so much in this episode. The scene where they are,
Being assigned.
their order. Well, first when Mormont is giving them like the speech about like your brothers of the Night's Watch now and this and that, and Sam, who is terrified of everything, stands up in front of the Lord Commander and everyone else and is like, "Hey, can I go to the say my vows in front of the weirwood tree too?"
Right.
And Sir Alistair, who hates him and he is also terrified of, like calls him out and is like, "Why would you forsake the gods of your house?"
Yeah, he's like, does House Tarly...
Right. House Tarly serve the old gods.
And he's like, nah, dude, the old gods have never... I mean, the new gods have never fucking answered shit, so...
And he says, "The Night's Watch is my house now." And it's just like, the Night's Watch does not deserve you, Sam. You are so pure, and I love you. Yeah. And then on top of that, he talks Jon down off the ledge because Jon is big pouty mode here when he gets assigned to the stewards because he was so sure he was going to be a ranger and he's the best fighter and he's the best rider and all this shit. And Sam is just like, dude, don't you see what's happening? He's grooming you for command, bro. Like, he wants you to be the next Lord Commander, basically. This is only good for you. And he convinces Jon, and all that is very good. Maybe the part I love the most is when Jon is talking about like things not being fair, and we get the little backstory from Pip where he lied about why he's actually there. Uh-huh. He supposedly stole a wheel of cheese to feed his starving sister when actually some dude tried to grab his wee and he was like, nah. Just the way Pip is pouring his heart out, and Sam just go like about this whole story, and Sam just goes, "Will you sing me a song, Pip? I love songs." And it's just so good.
Pip just like, all right, I'm out.
It's like, screw you guys, I'm out of here. I love Sam,
dude. So speaking of Sam, in this scene, two things, or in this whole sequence, I guess, two things. All of what you said plus these.
Right, sure.
First off, he calls out Jon for brooding while they're sitting listening to Mormont, and he's like, "Dude, you're allowed to look happy, you know?" And Jon's like,
"I just want to find my uncle."
Yeah, he's like, "Don't you know who I am? I'm a brooding motherfucker from the north."
True.
And then after
he
Sam,
is way more cheerful than he has any right to be, also at like all times, and I love Sam for that. So like, Sam, he's like, "Oh, it's not the most onerous thing, but at least there's food. I'll be in the stewards." He's so good.
At the end of this whole thing, when he says that he's gonna go to the weirwood tree, and Jon kind of like looks at him, and Sam goes, like just like. It's so cute, dude.
It's so
my fucking
good.
Guy.
Nobody
Nobody deserves Sam.
Nobody does deserve
perfect.
Sam. Also, quick shout out to his line where he tells Jon that he always wanted to be a wizard.
Oh yeah.
Where Jon's like, I always wanted to be a ranger, and Sam's like, "Well, dude, I always wanted to be a wizard. So what are you gonna do? Life happens."
Yeah, man.
He's so good. I love Sam to death.
So then we get we have the whole actual ceremony at the weirwood tree, and Ghost comes back. Dude, I couldn't remember Ghost's name. I was like,
Did you
Summer,
freeze?
Greywind, Nymeria. Fuck.
He's literally white, my dude.
Yeah, I know, right? So Ghost comes back with this hand, and hey, that's important.
That might be set up for something that's coming.
If this is your first time, you should probably remember that.
Yeah, that's probably important. We also get them saying their Night's Watch vows, which I love the Night's Watch vow.
Right.
It's a cool vow.
And Sam not being able to get up on his own.
Sam's so good.
And he just has this cheery ass smile, like,
dude, he's way, like I said, he's so much happier than he has like any right to be.
Yep.
After the horrible backstory we got with him and his father, the dude's just like, he's making the best of his situation, and like, how can you not love that? Ugh. Yeah. Real quick shout out here, and then I'll let you go with whatever you want to hit on next. Dude, Theon fucking sucks. He sucks so much. Yeah, I said it last time, but more and more on rewatch, I'm like, dude, I hate this guy.
Yeah,
he's
not great.
He just goes and is like giving all this shit to Osha for just no reason other than he wants to make himself feel important. And Lewin like comes in and just immediately calls him on all his bullshit, which hell yeah, good on you, Lewin. Love you, dude. It's just, that dude sucks. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, see, this is where. Ooh, how do I say this right?
Be careful.
Fuck. This is where many people would probably be like, well, like, think about his past, right? Like how I did with Harry in our Harry Potter series, which I get. But Harry at least is built in a way that you're like, hey, you're supposed to care about this guy. Like, Theon's just a fucking schmuck, dude.
Also, their upbringings are very different, to be fair. Like, Harry was treated like shit as a child. And yes, Theon was away from his home and a hostage of war, but everything we have heard, everything we know was he was treated very well. Like, Ned raised him amongst his own children. So it's like, dude, you have no legit right to be like as shitty as you are.
Right.
Like, why are you giving this poor wildly prisoner girl like so much shit, like trying to prove what a big man you are? Like, just fuck off. Yeah, that guy's really pissing me off, Zach.
I don't blame you, man. He's not great. He's not great at all.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I did have one other note on the Night's Watch thing. Sorry, I keep going back to this. Dude, just a quick thing. Alistair's look at Jon when Mormont reads that he's going to be a steward is so fucking funny. He's so mean, dude.
Diabolical.
He is such a dick.
He is.
Yeah,
quick shout out wall where I had one more thing about Sam while we're north of the wall here, or at the wall. Sam just randomly being like, girls, not even like talking to them, just hearing them laugh.
Just looking at him.
Just looking at him. He's so great. I love him to death.
Okay, so I do want to.
Can we get to the meat of this episode, or do you want to hit the Daenerys stuff first?
I was gonna make a quick comment on the Daenerys stuff. So this is, even as my first time watching, like, I know now I have some bias because I'm not a huge Dany fan, but even my first time watching, I always checked out a little bit in the scenes in the East. Everything that happens in the East in this episode, I think, is the most intrigued I was watching the first time, and even now on rewatch, I'm like, okay, this is fun, this is cool, shit's happening, I like it. So definitely had to point that out, give credit where it's due. Dude, I love Jorah, man. Jorah's so good.
See, I actually had a note about how, like, I want to like Jorah more, but he does enough to where I'm also like, what are you doing, dude? Like, he's playing both sides in this way that normally I kind of like that kind of thing. I like that kind of character where they're playing both sides, playing both angles, but it's like he's got so much foot in like Daenerys' camp on the surface. What it looks like he's like, oh, loyalty
Like
means
this
everything
is the
to
kind
me.
of thing you like to see from Littlefinger, from Varys,
Sure.
not from Mormont.
Right.
The same way that you wouldn't like to see this from Ned.
Correct, exactly. And it's just like, dude, like you're over there like kind of like getting this, telling like, oh no, I'll go get my letters by myself, because he wants like, he is feeding information. It's kind of, they never like, I guess they do kind of explicitly. I think on first watch I didn't really catch how much it
I
was
didn't
like
either.
that Jorah was feeding Varys information,
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, I think I missed that on first watch, probably because I'm an idiot, because rewatching it now I'm like, oh, he just straight up says it. But
It's easy, dude. There's so much to
Yeah,
digest. It's easy to miss that type of shit.
it is one of those things that's easy to miss. And just the way he is constantly professing like how he's Daenerys' dude and like his loyalty and all this, then going into the marketplace and sending Varys letters and getting these pardons and all this shit, I'm just kind of like, man, I want to like you, Jorah, but dude,
Right.
what are you doing sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, I think like filling in the space in my own head is kind of like this. Like I think that Jorah's like, hey, if I give them enough information, I'll get my pardon and I can go home.
Right.
He gets his pardon. And yes, he knows like, hey, like there will probably be attempts on her life, and he is trying to actively advise her on that, like, hey, like, you're gonna have to be looking over your shoulder your whole life. But we know that his priority has been going home.
Right.
And I think that we see him make the decision in this episode when the merchant
kind of that turn, yeah.
Yes, like
The
I mean,
full-
and it even like zooms, like it is an obvious like moment of intense like I don't know, dilemma, I guess.
No,
for,
you're right.
for Mormont, and he makes his decision. I do agree that it's weird to see him playing that, but like, he makes a decision, and that carves his path for the rest of his stay on the show.
That's true. Yeah.
But
I do like
just
Jorah,
I like the way, the reason I said I love Mormont is the way that he handles the situation with the merchant is
that's
so
pretty
badass.
Cool. It's
dude.
pretty cool. Yeah.
It's so fucking cool.
He knows what he's doing. It's a pretty cool
and-
scene.
And to finish off the stuff in the East, the only other note I have there is that, dude, Jason Momoa's performance, like
Killing
take
it,
away
man.
take away the jokes about like the boobs and how hot he is,
And his ass.
although those things do apply.
Mm.
His performance
It's great.
during Drogo's pledge scene is fucking intense, dude.
My
It's so
dude
good.
is fired up. He is into it.
It's so good, dude.
It's
Like,
very good.
Can you? I mean, seriously, like aside from just watching this as a consumer, like imagine being on that set.
Dude.
Like, how do you interact with that energy, dude? That's insane.
Just so much spit too. Just so much spittle flying out of his dude. He is so into it. He is just spraying like the cameras, the extras. That poor dude that's tied to the post gets a full face full of his spittle.
Yeah.
He's letting it rip. It is phenomenal. I'm 100% with you. Like that energy that he's bringing to that scene is
Fucking
so
crazy.
phenomenal. I won't be too much of a Debbie Downer about this, but it's just like this scene where she's like trying to talk Drogo into taking the Seven Kingdoms is the start of, okay, this is the Daenerys that I truly dislike.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you care about the Seven Kingdoms? You call it your home. You were there as a baby for an extremely short amount of time. It is definitely not your home. Whatever you think you deserve, whatever you think is like your rightful place,
Right.
it's like you have you got a son on the way. You love Khal Drogo. You're a queen in the Dothraki Sea. Like, why are you trying to retake the Seven Kingdoms. That was Viserys' thing. Viserys was an idiot. She fully acknowledges that now. Why does she still care? This is something that has always bugged me.
I will say, just I guess more to play devil's advocate a little bit, and since there's not somebody on our podcast who will willingly speak for her, I will.
True, fair.
I don't think that she's ever been against wanting to go back to Westeros and wanting all those things. Like, she's been told about it since she was young.
No, I'm not saying she's against it. I'm saying, why is she for it? What is the reasoning for it?
I mean, I don't know, man. Think about how anybody's affected by the way that they're raised. Like, she was raised being told, like, that's her home.
That's her,
and the reason that she's on run, like, although yes, she obviously has something better now, and it would make more sense. I would imagine that it's probably hard to just turn that switch off of being like, well, hey, I have always wanted that, and now I might have the means
to do it. Sure. Yeah. And I suppose the argument can also be made is that she can't feel safe and truly happy with assassins looking over her shoulder, assassins coming after her.
Yeah.
I will hear that argument and be like, okay, but there's the part of me where Drogo is just like, don't speak to me anymore about this iron chair and these wooden horses and all this shit. And he's like,
yeah,
I don't care about any of that. Like, you
you
are the moon of my life. What?
Right. That would be the more logical decision,
right?
Of course.
And that's the part of this that this is where I feel like I'm beginning to be like, oh, what are you doing? The decisions
it
you
wouldn't
make.
Be a Game of Thrones, though, if she didn't make that decision.
Big true. A valid point there. Anything more in the East before we get to...
Oh, yes. The guy, the merchant that tries to poison her. Super, super quick sidebar on this guy.
Yeah.
This guy looks like... he always has reminded me of... I forget his name, but he's in... The guy in Superbad that hits Jonah Hill with the car.
Seth Rogen?
No.
Oh, I don't.
No, he's like squirrely. He's the one that like
I haven't seen Superbad in probably like 10, 15 years. Whenever that came out, basically.
He's the one. He's a fucking weirdo. Like they run into him and like they go to the party and he's like, yeah, no, I know these guys. They're totally cool, but he doesn't actually know them and like he gets his ass beat.
You could be making this up. I do not. I'm telling you, dude. I do not remember Superbad.
Dude,
it's been a long time.
Guy,
are you talking about McLovin? I remember McLovin.
That hits Seth with car. His name is Evan. No, that's Michael Cera. His name's not Evan.
This is
Jolo Trujillo. Look him up.
Okay.
Look him up. Look him up right this second.
Hate that you are wasting my time on this. Jolo Trujillo. How do you spell this?
JO space LO space. Yeah. TRUGILO.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
Dude, looks just like him.
Yeah. It's I know him more from other stuff. He's like the teacher in Pineapple Express.
Oh,
that Seth Rogen was like, why don't you mind your own business, you weird little fucker? Oh, yeah. Teacher, you can't talk to me that way. Okay, sure. I do know who this is. That's who it reminds you of.
Yeah, he just looks like him. He just has like the I don't know, something about him.
You are such a weird son of a bitch.
I thought that was going to be a quick sidebar, but you didn't know who it was.
Yeah, it was not. An actually quick sidebar. Before I swear, I promise we're going to get to King's Landing eventually. One more thing in the north. My fucking dude, Mace Strayman gets a baller of a line here where Jon is brooding and Jon's like, "Take me for a servant." And Mace Strayman comes back with "We took you for a man of the Night's Watch, but perhaps we were wrong in that." And I'm like, oh, Maester Aemon from the top rope, dude. Oh, he's great. I love him.
Maester Aemon fucks.
Maester Aemon absolutely fucks. Had to call that line out. Are we ready for the beast that is King's Landing?
So,
holy shit.
So I just want to give you a friendly heads up. I don't have a set list of like notes on this because there's so much.
Yeah.
Like it's just going to be open discussion about all this shit in King's Landing.
Right. Well, maybe we jump into this by introducing what our counter is for this episode, because this is where it all takes place. This is going to be the Ned fucks up counter, because I think you and I both loved Ned, right? Like,
yeah.
We like Ned. We love Sean Bean, of course. I think Ned's a cool character.
You have to have humility about the people you love.
Right.
About the things you love.
But boy, is he just fucking up at every twist and turn in this episode.
Oh, yeah.
Big time. Shall we start with Ned and Cersei's little chat in the garden?
Yeah, that's number one that I have. By the way, how many do you have?
So I think I had, what did I finish with? 7? Yeah, 7. I have 7 times.
I have 5 solid ones. It could easily be 7 though.
Okay, because one I have before even this chat with Cersei, this one's a little odd. It's kind of ties back into more last episode, but at the start of the episode, Jaime's reading his message to Tywin where he's yanking the lion's tail. And my first fuck up is, yo, he actually sent that message to Tywin. Like, dude, what are you doing, my dude?
Right.
I thought that was a joke.
Yeah.
So that's my first.
It earned him a spot on the Who Be Thrown In list.
It did. It was big dick energy. Maybe not smart dick energy, but it was big dick energy. So that's my first one. And then obviously, dude warned Cersei. He warned Cersei.
He's like, dude, imagine being at like a world poker tournament and literally showing your hand to your opponent and being like, here's what I'm gonna play.
I got 2 jacks.
Here's what I'm playing.
Ned, this is a really good scene, by the way. Yeah, like they're back and forth. Lena Headey's and Sean Bean's is fantastic. But what are you doing, my dude? Just
fucking up, dude. That's what he's doing.
I love her line, of course. When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die.
There is no in between.
She is in it to win it. In case you couldn't tell, Cersei is in it to win it. It's good, man. I mean, it's a good scene. It's less of good Ned job.
Good Ned job. Yep.
Good Ned job.
And then
next?
Next is the scene when he's doing the appointments, right?
No,
wait, that's last scene. That's last.
Yeah, no. The next scene is where Bobby B gets torn up, right?
Yes.
So yeah, R.I.P. to our boy. I don't think he can survive being number 1 on the list this week if he can't survive the episode.
We may have to make a case, but no.
We will probably try, but
dude,
putting the cart before the horse here.
Fucking Ned, I feel like his entire time in King's Landing has, like, all his scenes have been like him being pulled in 7 different directions.
Yeah.
Like his scenes are always he's walking and then somebody comes up and is like,
"Hey,
bah, blah, 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 blah," and he's like, "Well, okay, gotta go to that." Like,
yeah, it's true.
It's so fucking bad.
We do get a couple last few amazing lines from Bobby B with the titles. I'd say that's the other one that we quote the most often, you and I.
Titles.
You know the damn words. But yes, so basically Robert wants him to serve as Lord Protector. And my third fuck up here, I understand why he did it. He did not want to cause his dying friend, more pain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my second one also.
But he still should have told Robert.
Yes.
That's my third because I have the sending the message.
Right.
What are you doing, dude? Like, I get where you're coming from, but you can't warn Cersei and then also not follow through and tell Robert.
Right. I mean, he was hoping that she would take that and run, though.
Right, which obviously she didn't. He walked in the room and there she was with Joffrey.
Right.
So at that point, you got to be like, hey, that's not your kid, bro.
Yeah.
It's not your kid.
Okay, so I'm gonna crown Renly here for
most logical.
No, actually. For the king of... Wait, hold on. You think he's logical?
A little bit. I mean, his plan is sound. His reasoning for it is maybe not so much.
His plan is okay. I was just going to say, like, this dude needs to go to, like, a salesmanship, like, conference. Like, his presentation, he's like...
It's a little
He's
laggy.
not a king.
I am. He's big on gassing himself up. Like, that's what he's good at. It's like,
he's
hey,
like, dude, I'm freshly
have you checked
shaved.
me out? Have
I'm
you
a
seen
king.
me? I'm pretty rad. Have you checked me out lately?
You guys fucking seen this shit?
You guys seen this shit? I'm pretty cool. I'm just saying.
Dude, yeah.
That's number
What
4.
a guy.
Ned turning down Renly.
Yep, that's on my list.
Yeah, like Ned, like you already know that you don't have the men to match Cersei because we're gonna see you tell Littlefinger that in the next scene, and here you are being like, nah, I don't need your 100 men.
Well, you know
good.
what's funny though is I'm sure Ned knows that, like he has the knowledge of that, but he's not thinking about it until Renly says it.
Sure. Yeah, that's true.
Until Renly's like, yo, shit's gonna go down because of this, dude.
Yeah. Quick shout out to Varys, who is like, and who was giving the king his wine? Oh, how good of the boy to make sure his king did not lack for refreshment. I hope he doesn't blame himself. And Ned's like over there just like, shit. And Barristan just looks lost as hell. Barristan's like, what is happening?
Dude. Dude, yeah, Ned is literally like, oh,
yeah.
Oh fuck, dude.
Varys is like so blatantly obvious. Barristan is just confused, and Ned's like, "Oh fucking shit! It was the Lannisters." So good. I mean, it's bad, but it's good.
I would love to see the fucking like the wheels turning.
Yes.
In Ned's head.
We need. It's like they do the zoom in. It's the monkey like clanging the cymbals just inside Ned's head. I love you, Ned. We're giving you a lot of hate this episode, but damn, son. So then number 5, yeah, he asked Littlefinger for help.
Well, so I have my next one is denying Littlefinger's plans.
Okay, sure.
And then trusting Littlefinger to help. So 2 separate ones.
Yeah, that's my 7th one is he fucking trusted Littlefinger.
And he did warn him not to trust him.
He did warn him. My last one is he just bides his sweet ass time until Robert dies. He's literally just having himself a walk when the guy comes up to tell him that Robert has died. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
What are you actually doing?
I will not dishonor Robert's memory by dragging children out of their beds. Just Ned, you're so too damn
Robert's
honorable
memory,
for your own
dude.
good. What?
It's like fuck Robert's memory.
Yeah.
Like if you fuck this up, dude, like
That's
people are gonna be
his
talking
memory.
about your memory and your kid's memory. Like, come on, bro.
This final scene in the throne room is very good.
It is really
Cersei just ripping that paper up. She doesn't care. Poor Barristan still confused.
Dude,
Those were the
this
king's
day, man.
words. Those were the king's words. And Cersei just cold-blooded. We have a new king now. She is in prime form.
And Barristan's face too. He's like, okay, shit.
Dude, poor Barristan. I love him.
Yeah.
Cersei is in prime form. Ned thinks he's got Littlefinger on his side, but the poor fool is just so mistaken. I mean, what more can we say about Ned and his constant fuck ups this episode.
Yeah, I mean, the dude just like, look, man, I love Ned to death,
I do. Yeah,
but
me too.
him even being in the capital is just it's like a shark on a mountaintop. It
There you
just
go.
doesn't make sense.
Boom, nailed it.
It just doesn't make sense. It's just he just does not compute. He cannot do that.
Cersei even tells him like multiple times, like when they first meet in the gardens, like, and he's of course he's got his all fucked up knee and all this, and Cersei's like, seems like the South doesn't agree with you, Lord Stark. You should go home. And then of course later when they're in the throne room, she's like, bend the knee and we'll let you live out, you know, your days in that frozen wasteland and all this. And it's like, obviously at that point, I don't expect Ned to bend the knee and all this, but it's like,
Sure.
she has honestly like been more straightforward than Ned than she really needed to be.
Yeah.
Like, she told him like, basically, I'm in it to
she
win
was
it.
playing his game,
Right.
you know.
And she's like, what about my wrath, Lord Stark? What about mine? And
Right.
boy, does she make him feel it in this episode. The poor Northmen just like, cannot catch a break.
Yeah, just like 3 episodes straight of like
They just,
tons of them just getting slaughtered.
just getting slaughtered constantly.
Fuck, man.
I feel they get a bad rep in this first season. I don't think a single one of them ever wins a fight. Boy, anything else you wanted to hit on?
I mean,
There's a
no, I
lot.
think
It's like,
I
man.
see. I don't think so though. I mean, because like, look, we can talk for hours about every single interaction and everything like that, but like,
Yeah.
that's a breakdown on this episode. A fucking lot happens. So many things are about to be set in motion. I mean, so let's like actually, this is what I do want to talk about. Let's look at the field here now. Now that shit
Sure.
is like, it is launching, right? Like full fucking send. So we have Tywin Lannister, who just gave half the Lannister army to Jaime to go retrieve Tyrion, but you already said
Well,
this, spoiler.
to
It's gonna
attack-
be going toward. Well,
to attack Riverrun.
in the episode, he says to get your brother back.
No, he says to attack Riverrun.
Does he?
Yeah.
You sure?
He says take half the army to Catelyn Stark's childhood home and show them the Lannisters.
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
You are right. You are right.
I would never miss a line that Charles Dance says at times.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I should have known. Okay. So you have half the Lannister army ready for war.
By the way, real quick, Jaime's armor, his new Lannister,
Oh yeah.
like, and not his Kingsguard armor, the like red and gold.
Uh-huh.
So cool, so good.
Yeah. Really fucking good.
Oh, what a baller!
We have the North doing nothing. You have Littlefinger controlling the City Watch,
Mhm.
who is not necessarily in bed with anybody right now, but just kind of playing Cersei's game.
Yeah, I would say more in bed with Cersei than anyone else.
Yeah, I mean, yes, but I feel like it's presented in a way that like Littlefinger calls the shots with the City Watch,
Sure.
not Cersei.
Yeah,
And
I can see what you're saying.
and he chose to go against Ned because Ned didn't want to follow his plan. So for the time being, he's playing Cersei's game.
Well, and also I feel like he thinks that is what is best. It's always comes back to what is best for Littlefinger,
Right.
and Ned Stark is not really what's best for Littlefinger.
Sure.
He's
right.
too, honorable and, all this stuff that he won't get what he wants from Ned Stark, but maybe
Right.
he can from the Queen.
So, and then, I mean, of course, we can say we've got Dany in the East, who now, I guess, like,
They're riding.
at this point.
They ride
during
out
the
of
first
Vice
time-
Stothrek.
What was that?
They're riding. They ride out of Vice Stothrek at the end of this episode. They're on the
Right.
move.
at the end of this episode, especially on the first time watching, there definitely is this feeling of like
Shit's happening.
big war. Big war is happening.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, like we could have a whole fucking history lesson of all the different houses that are pledged to so and so, pledged to so and so. Yeah, I mean, like there's so much titles. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think the thing to be aware of is that like when you say like the Lannister army, it's like that's talking about the entire like army of the entire Westerlands.
Correct.
Because the Lannisters are the lords of the entire Westerlands.
Yeah.
So it's not just House
Tywin
Lannister.
Lannister
like,
is the Warden of the West.
right. It's not
Just
just
like
like
Ned is the Warden
the
of the
Stark Guard or anything like that. It's like
Right.
literally the entire Western nation of the
Right.
Seven Kingdoms is riding for war right now. So
Mhm.
shit is popping off. Obviously we'll have a little bit more to kind of throw in the mix in an episode or two when we're talking about as all this stuff unfolds, but that's some of the coolest stuff to me. We may have to spend a minute or two, or maybe even a separate episode where we talk about like the alliances, because I love that kind of stuff.
Sure, for sure.
Um,
Yeah. That stuff is like just now kind of starting, and like the war specifically, like, Tywin sending an army to Riverrun is basically like, the kicking off of the war.
Right.
And we will get more into that in coming episodes, but
Right.
there's
I
always
think,
more going on. Like, we got forces rallying in the east, and we got maybe some shit brewing in the north.
right.
I'd say
Maybe
there's Ghost got himself a dead hand. What's that about?
trying to lend him a hand,
Exactly. Ghost
trying to give him a round of
I
applause.
got you guys. Hey, look at the Men of the Night's Watch. Hey, let me give you a hand. Yeah, it's an exciting time. This is a phenomenal episode. This is like hey, we are pivoting to the end game of this season. We are approaching the climax of this season.
Yeah.
It's where it really starts to ramp up. So much happens.
Yeah. This
This
episode also gave me my first like shock. Gave me my first shocker.
Yes.
Of my life, actually. No, it gave me my first shock, like watching this show. The ending, that was the first time I definitely was like, oh dude, this show does things different.
Yeah. That's not how it was supposed to go.
No,
that's not how it was supposed to go.
No, and I just feel like it's a snowball effect from this,
Yes,
this episode, because
my
that
God,
happens
yes.
again.
It will happen a lot. We're going long here. We said it might be a long one. This is a big episode. We gotta do some ranking here, Zachy boy.
It's time for Who Be Thrown In.
Who be thrown in? Okay.
I hate doing that voice. I'm never doing it again.
You have to do it all the time now.
No. I hate it.
Where we last left our Who Be Thrown In at the end of episode 6, King Bobby B, first place, probably his last time in first. Not to get ahead of ourselves here. Tyrion had jumped up to 2.
Who be thrown in?
Daenerys, 3rd. Lord Eddard Stark had jumped to 4, and my boy Bronn at 5. There is going to be some movement here. I feel like, obviously, if you die, you probably don't get to stay on the list, as much as this pains me.
Yep.
Bronn and Tyrion are not in this episode, so as much as I love them, I feel like they probably have to come off the list just due to technicalities. Ned definitely comes off the list because he's a real dumbass. Love you, Ned. Did I just double up Bronn somehow?
We have this all figured out.
Yeah, I got it all. Yeah, I do. I have 2 Bronns.
Love them that much.
Yes, I do. So Daenerys might stay. I feel like there's a strong case for her. We can leave her there for now.
Drogo might. pop up there also. I hate to have two people from the East, but
No, I could see that. I'm gonna need to do some adding here. If you want to do your little song and dance,
my song and dance, it goes a
need
little
to.
something like this. Did you guys know that you can follow us on Twitter?
you're
On
so
Instagram?
bad at this.
Oh my god. Hit us up on the Twitter and on the Instagram at We Don't Want a Pod. And in the link of this episode, or the description of this episode, whether you're actually it's the description whether you're listening or watching, doesn't matter. There's
Nailed
going to be
it.
a link for the Discord. If you guys would like to hang out and join the community, shoot the shit, talk about the episode, talk about the show, talk about who be thrown in, talk about who you'd put on the list, go and join that. And yeah, let us know what you guys think. It goes a long way. We love you. Scott, are you ready? I hope you're fucking ready.
I'm ready. Yes. I am going to absolutely put my foot down. If you disagree, I'm gonna say you're an idiot. Where are you, buddy?
Who are we talking about here? Littlefinger?
Thought I was ready. I lied. No. No, Littlefinger might go on there too, though.
Cersei? Joff?
Cersei could go on there. I am talking, though, about my fucking dude, Sam Tarly. Sam has an absolute banger of an episode.
I don't agree with you.
Absolute banger of an episode.
I don't think he goes on the list.
I
though.
will fight you over this one.
Okay, you will, and you'll lose.
I will actually
Hold on.
fight you.
Think about
Sam
everybody
makes the
that we've just announced that should be on the list.
We only have 4 currently. You want Littlefinger? That's fine. That's fine.
Cersei,
Yeah, okay. I forgot about Cersei.
Joffrey.
Joffrey, no. Fuck Joffrey. Joffrey has no real power.
Okay, fine.
Where's Cersei? Here's Cersei. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. I can't think of anyone else.
John.
No, John's a little whiny bitch boy in this episode.
Yeah,
Sam.
but he gets to be the steward and change sheets for
God,
Jorah Mormont.
You're the worst. It's Sam. Or I will hear the argument for Maester Aemon, even though he only has a couple lines.
Dude,
I don't think Khal Drogo makes it.
I see what you're saying, but I just don't know that Sam actually does enough to compete with the other people on this list.
He does more than anyone in this episode. Make me love them. Not named Tywin Lannister. And also, that's a little fear mixed in. I'm terrified of it, dude.
Okay, all right. Look, let's.
I don't think
figure
Khal
out
Drogo.
who
I
goes
think
on the top.
I think it's Tywin or Cersei.
I think it's Cersei.
I can shake on Cersei. I'll agree to that. I think Tywin has to be second. Though, who is the real power here? Is it Cersei?
Well, see, here's.
Am I getting ahead of myself?
You're speaking with the perspective of rewatch.
Yeah, sure. That's fair. All right. So Cersei won. When you're good with it too?
Yes.
Wasn't very convincing. Who would you put there?
Man, I kind of think that either Drogo or Dany could be argued for 2.
Yeah, I just took Drogo off. Drogo doesn't make it.
I don't know, man.
You can only have one from the east. I will only give you one.
Okay,
So
but you get to have 2 Lannisters?
You will want Cersei at number 1.
I'm just saying, if we're doing
I'm
one
telling
per,
you right
like,
now, this man, I have control of the mouse here. He is not coming off this list. Remember, This is what we want it to be. Sam does not have to be in a position of power to be thrown in. He just has to be rad, and
he's not making moves or anything. He's just a nice
matter.
guy.
He absolutely, excuse you, he is making moves. He gets Jon to stay in the Night's Watch, and not to talk about things too down the line, but how important is that?
I don't know, Scott. Why is that important?
I mean, it's pretty important. Is all I'm gonna say. He wants to be a wizard. We need to put a wizard on the list.
Who's the other person? I can't even see.
It's Littlefinger. Who you wanted.
Yeah, I mean, I think Littlefinger has for everything he's been conspiring, and his capabilities could have been argued to be on the list for several episodes. We finally are seeing it happen now, though. Like the pull and the power that he has, and he's executing.
I agree, which is why I think this is the list. The only change I could see making is flip-flopping Littlefinger and Daenerys. Because Littlefinger is now... He's always kind of been throne adjacent. Daenerys is still a long ways off. Yeah, she's making moves, but she's still a long ways off.
Hold on. Well, you're talking... I mean... He's thrown adjacent to the actual Iron Throne, but right. She is like
that's the picture we got here.
She's ascending the ranks here.
Okay, fair enough. All right, I'm trying to get by the technicality here. I am fine with the way this looks. Pretty okay with that. I don't know about you, but
if we
feeling pretty confident in it.
All right, okay. This list is obviously
this is our list
this week is about who we like, I guess.
Well, in one instance, I feel like the rest of these are movers and shakers. But remember,
so then we should
this is no. This is all and both. This is movers and shakers and who's just generally rad and awesome. That is Sam this week. Okay. Also, again, I cannot overstate how important it is that Sam talked Jon into, hanging around at the Night's Watch.
Jon didn't say he was going to leave.
He was going to leave. Also, big shout out to just, wanting to, self-improve and better yourself, like Sam is. He's always just yeah, no, hey, why don't I try these new gods? Maybe they're more for me. I'm gonna, I'm a go-getter. I'm a steward now.
Self-help motivation.
Exactly. I think that needs to be, acknowledged.
Self-help Sam.
Self-help Sam, that's pretty good. I think that needs to be acknowledged and respected, and I think I'm just gonna, you know what? You've convinced me, Zach. You've talked me into it.
Oh my God, no. You know what, buddy? Because I love and respect you as my co-host and best friend, I will concede Sam being on the list. I don't agree with it, but I will concede it.
Well, it's tough because it's going to happen. The other placements, I am willing to concede that he can stay at 5. You're welcome that I'm not pushing him to go higher.
No. See, you're just pushing the line back to make it seem like you're giving me more.
Oh, 100%. 100%. The other placements.
I think it looks good.
Okay, so right now for the audio listeners, we have Cersei at number 1, Tywin Lannister at number 2, Daenerys at number 3, Littlefinger, Peter Baelish at number 4, and my dude Samwell Tarly at number 5. Can we agree to this?
Yeah, man. Yeah, agreed.
So happy about this, I could tell.
That is who be thrown, and we're leaving. Goodbye, guys.
You hate on Sam. I hate you.
I don't hate on Sam. I just
obviously you do.
No. I love Sam.
That's what I'm hearing.
I'm hearing Sam.
I hate Sam.
If the list was who do we love, then Sam would be there all the time. But the list is who is throning.
Throning isn't exactly the most laser accurate of adjectives,
Yeah, it is.
No. Nah.
All right.
R.I.P. to Bobby B, though. His
Yeah,
streak
dude.
ended at a solid 6.
Pour one out.
I'm a solid 6. At all times. Solid 6 weeks in a row. At number 1.
Only if you measure from the bottom.
Oh, good job, Bobby B, on your 6-week streak at number 1. The only thing
Six and a half.
the only thing that could take you down was literally you dying. So good for you, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh man,
What a
that was
guy.
an episode. Jeez, I'm so hot, so hot.
It's because you're a solid 6, man.
God, I'm a solid 6. You know it. You know it.
Fucking hell.
Absolutely.
Man,
shall we
do
get
you
out
have
of
anything
here?
else?
No. Do your like, subscribe,
Okay.
favorite us. Leave us a comment. For reals, though. Tell Zach how right I am that Sam is awesome and deserves to be on this list because he is the dark horse MVP of this damn episode, and I refuse to accept Zach's slander of him. And if you want to take Zach's side and be like, oh, Sam's not getting close to the Iron Throne, I don't care. It doesn't matter. This is what matters, is that Sam rules.
Okay.
The end. But yes, for reals though.
Yeah, you guys
leave
are
us a
welcome to
comment.
leave those comments.
Leave us a comment. Tell Zach what a duty head he is.
I hate you.
And subscribe. Well, there'll be another one soon. Another episode.
Yeah.
So subscribe and you'll know.
Yeah.
Right when it goes up. When it goes up.
Right when it goes up a solid 6, you know?
What is happening? I've been in this room too long is what's happening.
Dude, yeah. Wait, no. We've only been here for an hour.
No, yeah. Oh, it's only been like an hour. Yeah, an hour and 15 minutes. Yeah.
All right, guys. That is going to do it for us. We love you guys. Thank you for watching, listening. Thank you for sharing, commenting, subscribing, hitting the bell.
Your grandma.
Hitting the sweet spot.
Still talking
flicking
about that
the bean.
right after I say
Thank you for all that stuff. We appreciate it so much. Oh, and be sure to tell your grandmothers. I haven't said that in a while. And
I just said it.
Huh?
I literally just said it.
You said it? Was I talking over you?
Probably. It doesn't matter. It's fine.
Hey, tell your grandmas. Grandmas love the We Don't Want a Podcast. They also love Game of Thrones, and they love a solid 6. So let them know about the show. Tell your friends, tell your family, hide your kids, hide your wife, and we'll see you guys next time.
Oh, my Lord.